Welcome back. Northstar here with another episode of my Vampyr Let's Play. I hope there are people watching this. Now, last we left, I'd entered the abandoned rental property. I'm hunting about Whitechapel, trying to get a bit more XP, find things I missed, and in this case, test myself against some skulls that wiped me out before to see if I can now handle them. Quite possibly not. I hope I can. I did quickly check to see where I left things. It's been a bit since I had played this. And I remember I was going here also to treat Cardigan and Palmer, although now his health status is listed as unknown. I don't like that. Something's up. There's an investigation I saw with him. I don't know if you somehow got turned to a vampire or not. Or something bad, but it worries me. I don't know why I have so little blood. Did X in the game cause all the blood to disappear? So that'd be a terrible game design choice. Penalizing players for, needing to go do things in real life. Let's try. I don't remember that being a blinker. Some meds. Last time I thought there were two. I should say some ingredients for meds. There's two above me. Two skulls. Those must be the ones that wiped me out before. Clove essence. Cool. Apologize. Here we go. Rogue skull and a rogue skull. Definitely need the blood. Oh, what the hell? Weird stuff when you get a pillar between you and them. They attack without a cooldown, and the reach is weird. That resets a lot of enemies outside too, unfortunately. Oh, now the blood being low makes a little more sense. What, no rat this time they can feed on? Alright, I need to not use the blood. Store up a little more. Ow. Arr. Get off. Fucker does regenerate. So, cool. It's annoying. Excuse my language, but anyhow. Arr. Come down here, why don't you? Arr. Other one, unfortunately, will be regenerating. Huh, a letter. Petition letter, it says. Mr. Bates must stop. For months, for years maybe, Cardigan Bates has exploited us. Mr. Bates must stop. If we had more money or proper jobs, we would never rent any of his extortionate flats. Mr. Bates must stop. We all know what revolting solution he proposes to the woman who can't pay the weekly rent. Mr. Bates must stop. Must stop. Let's meet him together soon and demand for an immediate change. Is so the Skulls were vengeful on him. Quite lunatics, he was raping women and doing other horrendous things. They had their reasons for trying to kill him. Saying that, death is the right punishment. He should have been thrown in jail for life, but he's clearly not a good guy. Guess that gives me something more to do when I visit Cardigan Bates. I mean, I didn't really die there. Defeated, yes, but econs are actually very hard to kill. So that actually, realistically, is more just like these guys might actually realistically be killing me. Oh, he reacts fast. These guys regenerate. Oop. Knowingly, it made it hard to slit them. Don't like having to take any of them down, but it's like a lot of the jungle type situation, and that they're coming for me. Okay, now I definitely hear a skull somewhere. I think this is a dead end. Soon find out. A couple level 16s. Arrgh! Crowd control. I keep getting... Arrgh! Hate that move. Gah. For a game that's so much about combat, they don't give you nearly enough combat moves. Where are my backflips? Where are the catching their arm when they lunge for me? It's like a million things that realistically a vampire super strength agility would be able to do. And even some of them ordinary people. I swear they do power level nonsense. Or if they're higher level, they just move faster than you and stuff. Just try and force you to feed or stay in certain areas. Arrgh. That wasn't me. I think the other guy hit him. These guys are annoying the heck out of me. He's waving that torch about frantically. This guy at least is easy to deal with. A couple shillings there. A handle part there. Since I don't think my stuff from before disappears. Cool. Screws, grease. Isn't there supposed to be a skull around here? That's interesting. Quinine, first tartrate, codeine, and clovescence. So the things. Unfortunately, this is just too slow for crowds. Bludgeon helps at least a little with crowd control, even though it's slower. More handle parts that right further. Apologize, I heard a weird sound. Come here, my computer. But Insect didn't get it into it somehow. Alright. Prune steak, though it uses more stamina, eventually is better than the normal. I don't see any upgrades to really make right now. Stuff. Oh well. this guy, because he fights at range. Better take down first. And these are so tough. This guy that I killed the other two, just trying to get him. And wish all this weren't necessary. Guard the freedom of soldier in the row fleet today. Right. Fleet that historically bombarded entire cities like Copenhagen into submission. That's an ending tool of imperialism. Yes. Right. That's the thing. Military is always sold as a tool of defense, but by some nations often used offensively. There's a lot of influenza frequently complicated with pneumonia. To prevent any cases of Spanish flu, stay home. Tea. Get past all these. Gonna be an easy fight. Part can be used for upgrades. Working my way towards the main quest marker there. I don't know what's there. I haven't been in that region. It's red. Probably an even more dangerous. Stuff for upgrades. Used to be newspaper stall at one point. Whitechapel, Old Road. It's still the Whitechapel district. I do remember there was a missing ingredients thing. Can't seem to find it on a map though. Doesn't seem to work. I'll try this one more time. It's not tracked on the map anyhow. Where does it say it is? Maybe it is the same location. That would be the simplest explanation for why there's no new marker. Okay. This area is beyond my means. Figured as much. What the? I wasn't expecting a boss here. That jumped me. Time for a two-handed weapon. This thing's a sewer beast. How'd I get up here? It's even called the wall. Probably just exists to limit your movement. And dealt with. was weird. The subtitle was saying Roger the Wall was saying that. Roger Wall was that thing. Official health warning. Declines line in curfew. Official health warning. Curfew will be set at 9 p.m. with the church bells. All citizens must keep off the streets from that time until 5 a.m. Until further notice, the COI curfew has been implemented. It's imperative that you wear your mask to prevent the spread of infection. If any member of your household becomes ill, inform the authorities immediately. Due to the curfew not opened after 9 p.m. Escape. That's yet another way to limit movement. I didn't do anything. Why? Just because I didn't leave fast enough? Or this guy's the wall. And what was that sewer thing? Why is my health not regenerating? It's supposed to. It's not aggravated damage. Some boss fight nonsense. Alright, this weapon combo isn't working well. Actually, time for machete stake combo. Speed. Why the machete actually? just fine with a hacksaw. Here. Trying to use it. Different weapons for different foes.
It's locked.
Need to get through this gate somehow. Oh, it was the other one was locked, not this one.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Voluntary recruitment poster nonsense. Screws and grease. Ooh. Might it force me to...
The wet boots will be proud of me.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Did I meet him before? Maybe it's this guy with unknown health status. Suffering fatigue.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
Goodbye, young man.
Why is the voice not louder?
Will be proud.
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now,
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
Medication and drugs are a rare commodity in East London. So you picked an easy target, didn't you?
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Said hit a lot.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
You're so gullible.
Free? You may soon find out that you have simply traded one set of shackles for another.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I have a future here.
Goodbye, young man.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
Actually,
How are
let's
you?
treat him.
Oh, you're
Do you need assistance?
Please. Feeling tired these days.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Goodbye.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. But no one can help me. Not even you.
Benjamin Palmer. Is this his brother? His father?
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go. No family that would welcome you.
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick.
It's his father.
Long before the flu and all this shit.
His brother wouldn't make sense. Uncle or father. I was thinking, but father.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
You don't have...
Not since the death of my...
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broken. My son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just raped me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
It's a pity that doctors still use barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
What can you tell me? Perhaps
Sick.
It says I want to hint. Oh, he's suffering a migraine. Lovely. Which I can't treat.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Not me.
Rats and an entrance to the West End, not really where I need to be. This will get me.
The answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money.
There's Benjamin Palmer again.
Someday you'll understand. You've wasted
Good evening,
your
then.
life. I'm afraid not.
This is where he normally is. Oh, he shouldn't have been able to get there that fast.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough Hospital is all you
Snake
need
oil
to
salesman.
perfect
Woman.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Cardigan Bates must stop.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
And what she's doing isn't?
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
She has some actual stuff besides this garbage. Can be recycled the components. Let's see. How much of this stuff do I have myself? I guess I'll run out of the potassium permanganate and codeine eventually. Yet to find a use for opium, I think. And glass files. Oh, sour grease. She seems to have a interest in carrying garbage, like a bogus cure. Well, maybe she thought it was real. You never know. Someone might have convinced her. I doubt it. Bar glass files. Those were actually useful. And buy up some of this codeine. I think everything she sells is kind of overpriced, but whatever.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
And I can always get more resources. That might require hunting around. The Pembroke Morgue has a respawning set of skulls for one.
It's locked, all right. Good evening, sir. Do you remember me?
If you're here for a reward, you'll be sorely disappointed. But I'll gladly shake the hand of a fellow countryman.
I'm not here for a bounty. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
A doctor? In Whitechapel? What an opportunity. My name's Bates. Cadogan Bates.
Do you require assistance, Mr. Bates?
Not me, but your skills could help a lot of people round here. That would help my business, because I say a live tenant's a paying tenant.
Yeah, but he wants them to basically be slaves to him, barely surviving and giving every cent they earn to him.
It's unusual to see someone so happy around here, especially considering the current situation.
Why should I be sad now? There've always been wars, disease, tragedy. There always will be.
That's an unusual way of seeing things in these trying times.
I don't see why I should shed a tear for another man's woes. I'm healthy, and I intend to stay so.
He's a prick.
What is your business exactly?
I offer fair lodgings for a modest price to the poor and weary of Whitechapel.
I see. And what about those who cannot pay?
Well, deals can be done, if you know what I mean. Money's not the only currency. After all, I'm not immune to a pretty face.
In other words, you take advantage of these poor lost souls.
Begging your pardon, I thought you was a man who could appreciate the complexity of the modern world. Things ain't just black and white, you know.
He rapes women. If there's ever a character I want to eat, it's him.
Tell me, what's your honest opinion of the increasing violence in London?
People are just beginning to discover what we've always known. This city's rotten to the core. They just took their bloody time to wake up and notice it.
What do you mean?
People are acting like the violence is news. There's always been savage down here. It just bubbles to the surface every now and again.
What help could I possibly be to your business?
That's simple. I already get good money from all those fleeing the war. Can you imagine what they'd be willing to pay if I could offer medical assistance too?
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
I understand, Dr. Reed, you're from a good family. Don't want to get your hands dirty. That's fine. I'll be happy to act as your middleman.
I'm no saint, but to take advantage as you do, you are a despicable man who could only prosper in these dark times.
So it's a no then. That's too bad. The Reed tonic could have really helped people, you know, saved lives. Isn't that what you do? I mean, People buy that swamper shit.
Which is true, but it's garbage.
You seem to have recovered well since your attack. Do you ever think about what happened to you?
Not much. It was a fucking nightmare. Savages, absolute bloody savages. Their appearance. Jesus. Made me want to puke.
You'd better not come back here. I won't be around next time to save you.
I just wish could save the priest instead of him.
I want to know everything about the recent violence, Callaghan. And I want the truth.
Well, rent may be a bit high, and yeah, I've had to evict a few people. But that's business, isn't it?
Even him. It's not gonna stop regardless.
I don't believe even you deserve such a cruel fate, though you have tested my patience beyond its limit.
Glad to hear. Nice to know there's another civilized individual in these parts. Not like those bloody savages.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane. She's a nurse. What can you tell me about her?
Dorothy Crane, bless her soul. I really should thank her someday.
Has she treated you?
No. When I need a checkup, I'd go to a bloody doctor, not some back alley clinic full of sick foreigners.
He's a prick.
Tell me truthfully, why are you so thankful?
By keeping my tenants alive, she's making me a rich man. Every month they live, it's more coin in my pocket.
Gosh, he's a pig. Nonetheless,
Since I took an oath to help people, can I be of assistance?
Well, seen better days, that's for sure. But it was bound to happen with all these refugees about.
Infecting you is probably the last thing on these people's minds. Take this, in any case.
What? You give me this for free? Don't have a clue about this place, do you?
well, no, things will get worse if you are sick.
Goodbye, Mr. Bates.
You get other people sick for one. Need a treatment for migraines.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to. I will return later.
Strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Darby, is he still asking questions?
saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
He's got bronchitis for what it's worth. I do have a treatment for that.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
This is no place for you, sir. Are you bloody stupid?
Based on your level, probably is a place for me. We'll eat. The devs want me in this area. Low level enemies, or maybe accidentally set custom markers up there.
This is it's elite! Kill it! Christ, he's dead! We have to stop it!
It's locked.
And quarantine zones. Key thing is medicines around here. Key there, but not one I can get through.
I cannot enter.
Hmm. Two of them. Hmm. More skulls. Can't bust my way through, can? Oh, I can. Wait for that. Another large beast, which of course somehow was inside that building. Oh. I probably would have not fought it no matter what. Never seen the Prewin fight anything except me. Ow. Oh, there was a dead one there, so maybe they do fight each other sometimes. Another large beast. Ooh, a hatchet.
Not exactly a treasure chest. A battered box.
Barrett, there's no easy way to say it, so I'm going to be blunt. We can't keep on like this. At least I can't keep on like this. If Joe ever finds out about us, about his wife and his best friend, it will crush him. And then he will kill you. We had some good time together, but let's face it, I'm never going to be your Jane Lewis. You know it, and I know it too. So I'm ending this, right here and right now. If you agree with my decision, I'm sure we'll find a way to be happy again. You, Joe, and me in time. Then the most important part of our story will have been preserved. Until that day, I wish you'd forgive me. Goodbye for now, Jane Preston.
A love letter from Joe Peterson's wife addressed to Barrett Lewis. Who should I give it to, I wonder?
Who are these people? I think I met Barrett Lewis. I did pick up a hatchet. Which can absorb a little blood over time, or stun. It's the ultimate in slow attacking weapons. Opposite of, say, a hacksaw.
Please, Joe. How long have we known each other? We even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake.
I'd prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett.
What?
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off.
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Just realized with the who should I give it to options. Probably could have earlier given that letter instead of to Arnold Palmer to his father. Might have kept his boy out of trouble. Oh well.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Could have helped the old man straighten out maybe if he was concerned over his son. He's a thug.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane. Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
I should never have taken up my father's business. Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Maybe he suspects.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever. Madness. Something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Barrett, you had an affair with Joe's wife, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. She's the only woman I loved. My first regret is that she stayed with Joe after Harry was born. The second is I never shed a tear when she died.
Did you ever try talking to Joe?
Never. But I suspected he knew everything, even without knowing it. And he decided to make me pay in his own way.
Do you mean you're Harry's father?
No one will ever know for sure. And it's better that way. And I don't believe I'd have been all that bad as a dad.
Right then. Show me what you have.
Interesting.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never... I found this box in an abandoned building nearby. I believe it belongs to you.
Let's have a look. Yeah, this is mine. So, you faced those loons that roam around there. Extraordinary.
I suppose I was lucky.
Luck is a commodity round here. Yours should be properly rewarded.
About this package, it's not just tools and trinkets, is it?
Don't want to be rude or anything after your kind gesture, but it's none of your business.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always been wretched. Don't let you go... Calm down, sir.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whittaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
Well, you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
He's referring to the beasts,
Really?
large beasts,
And
I
what
think.
would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us, but not with scalpels and microscopes. No,
What is left then?
cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher, a small-time Torquemada, the Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, don't listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool.
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
It's not the guy who died, is it?
What do you mean?
All science.
Quite a judge.
Well, you
I am. But the answer... Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
no. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Oh no, that's the one who died.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery.
Maybe not.
The pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in our country. That's what happened when you let a woman get involved in politics.
He's a prick. And good for her, resisting, I'm assuming, brutal monarchy. I know that
I have had enough for tonight. Goodbye.
King Carol eventually came to rule Romania. Was a prick and sided with the Nazis in World War II.
For there is no protection against malevolence and trickery.
Though the communists of Romania eventually became particularly ruthless by the 60s. Almost anything would be better than a Nazi collaborator. Certainly can't blame her for at least caring, even if she was wrong. Caring enough to try and prevent literal kings from ruling. That is a lot of them. Blood, thank you very much. I'll take that. Bloody skulls. There should be another drop, but I missed, but whatever. Bullets. Why did I just pick up bullets? Poster telling people stay at home because of the flu, so that Spanish flu, so they don't die. Also, that's, if you think about it, I'm just remembering when people are dying. Oh, COVID just like a flu. Did those people forget the Spanish flu killed an ungodly number of people? You know, people thought it was the end of the world. It was so bad. Some. It's kind of ironic.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Wandering around a cemetery?
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
Not always around.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
Okay.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposures.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
He's gonna end up dead.
say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
And that was considered an important decision. Do it autosave. He's sick, for what it's worth.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir, Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about. And that's what Whitechapel is made of.
And that's people suffering.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his position was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
God, this guy thinks himself above. Oh my goodness. He is a piece of work.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. But you should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more important than my physical health. But I appreciate your concern, sir.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Skulls all over the place, and this guy just wandering around. Editor refusal letter. Sycophant Publishing Limited. Lavender Court, Camden Street, London. Sycophant Publishing, right? Dear Mr. Nethercott, Thank you for sending your book of poems, Songs from the Defeated City, which we found as interesting, as profound, as we told you the first time we received it. Alas, in the terrible times our country is currently facing, you must understand that such title would be totally inappropriate for any publication. Thus, since you still refuse to change your title and demand the full publication or none of your work, I'm sorry to announce that Sigilfant Publishing chose the second option. With kindest regards, A.G. Morris. So all I wanted was for him to change the title. Nothing more. Oh, that's... He's really stubborn.
And good evening to you too.
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time, my energy, my devotion into the precise carving of words.
Still, you don't seem to suffer from poverty.
With thanks to my parents, actually. I'm afraid I would not be able to live on my own without their help.
You seem embarrassed.
Someday I hope to proudly offer my first publication to my parents. Until that day, I'll remain the failure of a son they have to support.
Now wait a second. He's never been published and he simply won't change the title of a work. That's all he has to do to get published. Oh, this is sad and pathetic. I mean, really, buddy.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Apparently his poems aren't bad. The people wanted to publish it if he would just change the title. Book. That's truly a stubborn and dysfunctional individual. I mean, it's one thing to struggle with something. Like I struggle to get this YouTube channel off the ground and find real viewers. It's another thing to sabotage yourself. Small flower bouquet with a voucher for free medical checkup him between the flowers. Huh. Camellia is involved in that. Guessing it's another thing to be able to easily succeed. Another voucher in. And just choose not to make a change. Because somebody told me this or that is all you have to do. And your YouTube channel will be huge, and it was something not entirely unreasonable.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly.
She's mute.
I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Tell me about Richard Nethercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia. Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever.
Carmine, was she also involved in communist resistance? That would actually make sense, considering Crane was.
Very well. locked, all right.
There's that guy again. Let's see if I can enter the church. Vampire? Might not be able to. Or might be something else. Like, the door's locked. Won't even let me try.
Oh, Camellia, the silent flower of Whitechapel, an angel made flesh.
Here's where I found some skulls. No entrance to the church. I'm thinking this is intentional. Don't let me in. They don't have to contend with the question whether a vampire could enter the church. Where's Quinn and Darby, though? Oh, him.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? My name's Ben Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
I mean, there's always someone who reads.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
No, those are skulls.
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious, never goes out, doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Well, likely he just decided not to send it.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Yeah, now let's treat his fatigue. Oops.
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor. Who knows what I may have caught during my investigation.
If you persist in investigating the most pox-ridden boroughs of London, you must accept the risks.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
I'm starting to run low in treatments for colds. Definitely have to make some more. Whitechapel would be in much better shape if I managed to save the guy, probably.
I cannot enter.
There's no way to jump elsewhere. Or there's something back there. Oh well.
Hello again, miss. Very well.
Oh. Letter. Supposed to be in the trash, right? Here we go. David Petrescu's letter. My dearest, most beloved children, I'm so sorry you have not heard from me for a few months. The situation in London has been difficult. I know it may sound selfish and silly when you, my children, are still living in a country consumed by war. But there is also war going on here in England. A war against poverty and against injustice. This is the war I intend to fight despite my advanced years. This is why I'm writing to you today. I won't be coming back to Romania. That probably means I won't see you again before I die. Don't be sad, my darlings. You're grown up now, and you have children of your own. You know the sacrifice we sometimes must accept to make the world a better place. This is one I must make now, to feel useful one more time. Wish you a long and happy life. Kiss my grandchildren for me. Remember that your father loves you all the way from this damp, cold country. I'm as ever your loving father, Darius Petrescu.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
That, however, in about 2 hours, we'll have to wait to next video. Stop by the house and make more medicines, though. Knowing that guy already has bronchitis, probably don't want to.
You look so pale, my lord.
Probably don't want to sleep.
Would you like me to revive you?
Who is she?
Don't
What's
be
this?
shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger. That's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
It can't all be bad.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
Xenophobia.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
Maybe there's something that can be helped
Do you know
there.
Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Goodbye, miss.
Oh, no. Forgot to treat her cold.
Change.
Do you need any assistance, Miss Popper?
It depends on the price of your medicine.
I am shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my suspicion.
Her
I'm so
fatigue.
used to liars with good manners. Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
One of the main reasons being a doctor is the best job in the world. You can show people that you really do care by helping them. And while house calls like this are unfortunately no longer a thing,
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
maybe later.
I shall leave you alone.
Cheap price, good quality.
That must have been Harry Peterson.
Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid. Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look.
Hello.
Needs medical treatment.
It's me again. May I come in?
I told you before.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then. Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way. Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
Goodbye, young man.
Can ask the other questions later.
Soaked with glue.
It's locked, all right.
Anything that can be recycled to make more medicine. Oh, a job refusal letter. Dear Dear Mr. Pearson, it is my duty to inform you of our refusal to accept your application for a job at the dockyard. I must thank you for the time spent at our office explaining the difficulty of your situation, but your ill boy and the loss of your beloved wife. But it is also my duty to point out the policy of our company, which expressly reproves the employment of former criminals or convicts. Your unfortunate connections with the ill-famed Wet Boot Boys have been duly noted. These are hard times, sir, and Finch and Harper intend to reward first the candidates who pass the small inquiry we like to conduct about our future employees. You have my deepest sympathy. May God be with you and your family. Sincerely, R.D. Harper. Interesting. That's enough for now. Continue this inquiry next video.
Pain and suffering in this world.
For now, this is Northstar. I wish you all the best. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves, as I hope this character will be to himself. And may you always find a guiding star to lead you home.